Today I'm going to show you how to make a sous vide steak. Sous vide is a French style cooking method that allows you to cook your food to the exact temperature, so it's really hard to overcook anything using this method. So just because it's a fancy French cooking method, it doesn't mean it's better. What it does allow you to do is cook a really thick steak, maybe 1.5 inches or more, to the correct doneness, and it will not be overcooked at all. So let's get right to it. So I got one of these Sous Vide Supreme Demi to do my low temperature cooking. I got this kind because it has a container built in and the heating coils are inside. That way I don't have to put the external device in a container or a pot. There are some where you can just buy the heating element. It has the temperature controls. So I got this kind. All you have to do is just fill up the water, set the temperature, and let the temperature rise to that level, and then put in your food. The timer is built in, so you can just wait until it's done, and it'll beep and let you know when it's ready. So here's a close-up of it. I want to set it to 51.5 degrees C to make the steak rare. So here it shows that the heat is on, and it'll take a while for it to get to 51.5 degrees. I'm only going to make one steak, so I'm going to fill it up to the minimum. The minimum fill is around right here, and after you turn it on, just put the lid on and let it heat up. So here's my steak. I just defrosted it. If you watch my 5-minute steak video, you'll know that I keep a lot of steaks just so that I can eat them anytime I want. So for sous vide, you really need to season it differently. Put plenty of salt. I'm usually a pretty low salt eater, but for this method you really should put more salt so that it'll soak in. And then some fresh crushed black pepper. And finally put some garlic powder. I recommend to put maybe 1/3 of what you would normally put. Be very sparingly about this because when you put it in the machine it kind of multiplies the flavoring. So see here, you can see I'm just sprinkling a little bit on there, and that's all it takes, just about that. Here I'm gonna put the steak inside this ziploc bag that's specially made for sous vide. There's a special outtake hole here so you can suck out all the air, and the backside has a texture on it so that the air can come out easily. So let's put this in. You put it all the way at the bottom away from the hole. Just close it up. And then you use this vacuum thing that comes with it. This compared to the other electronic ones that actually does vacuum is a lot cheaper. This set is maybe like just 10 bucks. So, and then you just put this over the hole, and then you just pull it a couple times. And when you pull it all the way, see, it's vacuumed, and then the juices might try to come out, so you stop vacuuming before it comes out this way. And now this is ready. Okay, the machine's water temperature is at 51.5 degrees C now. All I need to do is stick this steak in there and set the timer for 1 hour. If you have a steak that's 2 inches thick, you might need a minimum of 2 hours to cook it. The thing to note is that these steaks in this machine, it doesn't really care if you go over that time. If you cook it for 3 hours, it'll still stay at that temperature and it will not overcook. So, but I don't want to wait for too long, so I'm going to use the minimum cooking time of 1 hour. Okay, so it's been 1 hour. Let me take it out. So here it is. I took it out. It looks kind of gross right now because it's fully cooked, but it still needs to be seared on both sides. You can actually eat this right now, but it won't taste very good because the outside hasn't been seared nicely. So now I'm patting it dry so that when you put it on the pan, it'll give it a nice sear. If it's a little wet, it will make the pan not as hot. So I have the pan here and it's starting to smoke a little bit. You want it to be as hot as you can get it. because my steak is only about a little less than 1 inch thick. You want to sear it on both sides for maybe just about a minute each, because you don't want to cook it at all. Just kind of sear it on the outside. Put some oil. So here I've only cooked it about 45 seconds on each side, and I turned it halfway through. So let's cut through it and see what it looks like inside. Wow, look at that. So this is a perfect medium rare throughout. So the nice thing about cooking it sous vide, you can see that it's not bloody, it's not leaking blood, so it's completely medium rare from top to bottom. And it has a nice sear on the outside. So it's time to eat. One additional thing I like to do is to heat the plate. I put maybe a tablespoon of water on the plate and microwave it for 1 minute or 2 minutes. It'll keep the plate heated so that your steak will stay warm longer while you're eating. So apparently, since this is a cooking video, I'll eat one. The thing is, when you put it in the sous vide machine, it completely renders all the fat. All the fat inside the steak melts, and it completely bastes the steak from the inside out. So if you didn't know, these steaks, they come from the back of a cow. So if I were the cow and my legs are in the front, it'd be like somewhere over here in the back. If you have a thicker steak, you might want to sear the outside edges too. Thanks for watching, and if you're wondering where to get the machine or the vacuum seal bags that I used, check out the link down below. So this is the best way I know how to make a steak. If you can get your hands on one of these sous vide machines, you can make one of these at home as well. If you like this video, please click thumbs up for me and subscribe. If you have any questions about how to make the steak, just leave a comment below. Thanks for watching. I'm just gonna keep on eating this steak. You can probably skip ahead to watch something else now. And maybe you can watch my 5-minute steak video. Don't forget to subscribe. Why do cows taste so good?